Modern issue collecting has taught us a couple of things. Vintage figures matter, and the population reports. How few of them get to that high grade are even more so significant. But now, let's take a journey back over a half a century. Back when the Franklin and the Kennedy were king. And look at the quality here, the pair. This is the price for the pair, by the way, and the grade, all wrapped up into a bundle. So proofs only come from proof sets. The U.S. Mint opened up to the American public buying proof sets in 1950. Prior to that, they made individual coins. And if you had a guy, you had a gal, or you were somebody significant, or you're a dignitary, they were meant as presentation pieces prior to 1950. In 1950, they became the proof set, which is the opportunity for the American public to own the finest strikes of the year. Proof is a method of manufacture. Polished dies, obverse and reverse, and then they polished the planchet, in this case, the silver $50 planchet. They strike it twice under enormous pressure, giving it that mirrored background. It is beautiful. You're looking at the last two $50 from Philadelphia in proof. In 1968, they transitioned over to San Francisco. And they've been making the proof set ever since. So those first 15 years were all Philadelphia sets. Now, the unique thing about this pair is the last Franklin was 1963, and then the very first Kennedy was 1964, and then they stopped making Philadelphia proofs. Stopped making proof sets altogether, again, until 68 hit with San Francisco. These are 90% silvers, because at this time, all of our proof sets were in silver, the dime, the quarter, and the $50. But here is the fun part. Those of you that have been with me before in a coin show know I am a numbers cruncher. It helps me understand the difference between a coin that has this mintage and a coin that has that mintage. Which one's the better buy today if I have $1 to spend, right? Well, the Chapter 1 information, which is mintage figures, the 1963 proof set, they made a little over $3 million. In the 1964, they made a little under $3.9 million. So popular, but it was a big time in U.S. coin collecting. The 60s and 70s were the peak of proof set involvement with the American public. And again, these were silver. So the last Franklin, and by the way, that 64 Kennedy, it's the only 90% silver from Philadelphia in a proof set. That's it right there. So I talked about 3 million, 3.9 million, the mintage figures. How many were made? But then in the mid-1980s, NGC opened their doors as an independent certification service. That way you know and I know this is what it is, right? It's at this grade, it's at that grade. And they're in business today, 35 years later, grading more coins than anybody else because of their reputation of being pretty darn good at what they do. Here are the numbers. There are only, in 67, 68, and 69 grade, there are no 70s, because these were all polypack proof sets. There are only 21,631 Franklins in 67 or higher. That is 0.6 of 1%. Now, if you go to the Kennedy, it's even crazier. It's 32,600, which is 0.8%. We've always talked about in collectibles wanting to be in the 1% club because it tells us, or just reminds us, the inverted math is 99% of this coin in the industry today are lesser condition, period. And who doesn't want to have the finest, right? 67's the number. Now that 79.90, thank you, Hunter, is for both. It's not a your choice. I know you might have watched one of my competition this past weekend. They were selling the Franklin by itself for $79.95. And then one of the other networks had the Kennedy on Monday night, and they were $49.95 each. So $130 for both. We are $50 less. We are under $40 a coin. $39.95 to be exact, which is why $79.90 rings so nicely. The best of the best. The end of an era, the beginning of a new, but it's the last of the Philadelphias, period. Love this series, love this grade because of the value. Again, in a 67 grade, you're at 0.6 and 0.8%. That's less than 1% known. It's a half a century-year-old coin. Remember, 1980 existed. It happened. It wasn't something people glossed over. It happened. Silver went to $50 an ounce. How many coins did you melt that year? Because a half dollar melted for 20 bucks at $50 an ounce silver. A lot of people did. I know I did as well. Right? The transgressions of our youth. Now that we're a little bit more seasoned as a collector, we would have known better. Hopefully, right? Quality. The process, which is a proof, the best strike. Now in the 1% club, which means you're in the 67 or higher category. Again, remembering no 70s back this far for any of them. And then tonight, the price. For both, $79.90 for both. Competition, again, is at $79.95 on the Kennedy. I'm sorry, on the Franklin, and $49.95 on the Kennedy. And those are great prices if you look at them independently. And then if you understand where AVC is, 3 days a week between 7 and midnight, all across the country on all the networks, then you get the deal, under $40 a coin. Or you can join us at avccoins.com. Thank you, guys. Great segue. Our phones are very busy right now. When you see this pop up during the show, it just means the phones are busy. Just referencing, hey, if you use this website as an order-taking process, it'll save you a little time. On the other hand, we have a large crew here tonight to work with us at the show. Guys, we got to put a 1-minute clock up. They'll be processing and taking care of you the best they can as fast as they can. Everybody wants in, and I understand why. Now, here's the other scenario, all right? Two of my competitors, my largest competitors in the catalog industry. Here is the lowest price for that coin in a capsule. $58.50 for both. That was their lowest price. The other one was higher than that. We're under 40 for one of the finest known, and they're almost 60 for just the coin in a capsule, which means they're one of the 3 million. They're one of the 3.9 million. We're one of the 0.6% club and the 0.8% club owning the finest. We just happen to buy it for the right price. Not 79, not 49. We're at $39.95 times 2. The pair tonight is $79.90, everybody. This is a very special set, very limited numbers. Patience with my operators, but it is time for us to be moving on.